Did you ever have the opportunity to participate at a ceremony which is called Areinführen in Cheder, where you introduce a young, either 3-year-old, 5-year-old, anywhere between the age of 3 and 5, little boy to Cheder, to Hebrew school, to the Jewish school, to the Talmud Torah? Beautiful ceremony. Comes with a talis and is covered and candies thrown over him. The Malach is present. And then he's introduced to read the ALEPH base, the Hebrew lettering. And is introduced to a different text of the Torah. Do you have any idea which verse the child is introduced to and pointed at and helped to read the letters? So before I tell you that, and you'll realize soon why I discuss it today, we'll say together chapter Tehillim 100, Mizmor L'Soida, a song of thanks to God. Thank you, God, for all the miracles, and please make ready the final miracle, the redemption. Mizmor L'Soida, Rila Adonai Kol Haaretz Yivdes Adonai B'Simcha. Boi lefano b'Rnano Duka Adonai U'Limhu Asanu B'Lo Anachnam V'Tzah Meris Boi Shor B'Soida. Chatzeroista B'Silo Hoida Levach Shemoi Ki Tov Adonai Le'Olam Chasdo V'Yad Doir V'Doir Emunasoi. Let us give some tzedakah, and obviously with our prayers for the safety of our soldiers, for the return of the hostages, and the one blessing which includes them all, Moshiach. The child is introduced to the verse first, Pasuk in Torah, not Bereshis. Pasuk, the first verse in Torah, Bereshis bara Elokim. It's a Shemayim v'Sa'aretz. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, which is such a fundamental concept in belief. The Pasuk which is introduced is the pasuk of the parsha of this week, where the Torah starts, Vayikra el Moshe, and he called to Moshe. And we explained yesterday about the name, that relationship that God just so casually speaks to Moshe Rabbeinu. Let me show you. Here's a Chumash. See the word Vayikra, Vav, Yud, Kuf, Reish, and then the Aleph. The Aleph is smaller print. It's not just in the print. It is in the Torah too. Why is that? In Divrei Yomim, where it's recorded the history of mankind, etc., where it starts there, Adam, Sheis, Enosh, there the Aleph of Adam is a large Aleph. See, we see an interesting thing. Moshe, Vayikra, when God calls out to Moshe, the Aleph is a small one. Where it talks about first man, recording the history of mankind, the Aleph is a big one. So the Alter Rebbe explains in Chassidus the following. The Aleph, the small Aleph of Moshe Rabbeinu, represents the humility of Moshe Rabbeinu. And due to this humility, he merited that God should speak to him in such a casual, quote-unquote way, such an intimate, direct manner. Moshe Rabbeinu said about himself, "V'nachnu ma." What am I? Who am I? Not that Moshe Rabbeinu was fooling himself in thinking that he's a nobody. He knew very well that he's the leader of the Jewish people. He took his responsibility very serious. He knew very well that he's the trusted shepherd by God. He knew very well that God is speaking to him, and he knew very well that he has to answer, and he cannot not answer. He knew his responsibilities, but his thought was, the reason why I have all these capabilities, the reason why I have all those quote-unquote privileges, etc., is because God gave it to me. It was gifted to me by God. And saying, if somebody else would have got the same gift, could have even done better than me. So it's not about me. It's not because of me. It's all because of God. So Vayikra el Moshe, God is talking to Moshe in this manner. Sadly, Adam has a big Aleph. Adam Arishon recognized his greatness, and that's why he was able to be persuaded to do something contrary to God's directive, a message to him. So we tell a little child, You're starting out in Judaism, you're starting to learn Torah. First and foremost, you need that humility that Moshe Rabbeinu had. We can all have it. Why? Because we're all a spark of Moshe Rabbeinu. Also telling us to succeed in life, to succeed in Torah, you got to be connected to Moshe Rabbeinu, to the Moshe Rabbeinu of the generation. These days we read the Nasi to understand the connection that we need to have with the Nasi, with the leader of our generation. Listen to him. And that quality of that humility is just like it was by Moshe Rabbeinu, our first Redeemer, is also found by our present Redeemer, by the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach. His humility, being able to tune in, to talk to an infant, a little child, on the level of a little child. That's a tremendous, tremendous humility. Please, Eibishter, we're ready to see the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach in the Beis HaMikdash, and it would be so beautiful, him sitting together with Moshe Rabbeinu. May this be today.